Hi everyone, Keith Arkenberg Farms. And this season I've really been focusing on getting everything on your farm and garden up and running proficiently and having everything set out to when you start your season and start planting, everything is ready to go. So this season I am planning on expanding my raspberries. So I'm going to have 2 more trellises here and really get the process going. So today I'm going to show you how I built the trellis and then how I start my raspberries from cuttings. So let me show you. To start, I laid out the trellises, as you can see where the orange flags are throughout the field there. Then I used my twist postal auger and keep rotating it, pulling the dirt out, and completing my hole. This task does take a little bit of time, but not too much. It takes about 10 minutes a hole, going down 3 foot, getting all the way to the bottom. Have a little piece of tape on there so I know how deep I'm going. So next, I line up my post about where I want it. I kind of look, move it, look again. I want where the trellis lines to be even with the other ones. So next you can see the piles of dirt as I pulled them out. The very light stuff is the heavy clay at the bottom, and then the other stuff is the looser silt at the top. Continue to pack it down good. Now we just cut off any little nubs, and then we set our post at the end. For this we tie wire to it, and we're just pulling it somewhat tight at this point. Winding it around a couple times. Same thing up top. Lash it off so we have 2 points to connect to. Now we'll twist it, and then put it back through the other one. There, I broke one, so I'm redoing it. And we just make sure to get everything good and tight. Push it down through, and lock it in place. And then we are good to go on the ends. Now with my down guys complete and secured, I'm going to start running my top wire. First, I'm going to make 2 winds around the post and then start to wind off. I make 4 complete winds around it to make sure it's good and secure at the first end. Just like that, nice and pretty. I'll trim off the extra at the end. Now I'm going to unwind my wire. Of course, I'm using used wire, so it's a little finicky. Again, I'm marking at my shoulder, which is about 60 inches. And then I'm using this old antique tensioner I have. It's a pretty cool little tool. It ratchets back and forth and puts tension on the wire. That'll completely tighten both my down guys on both ends. Checking for tension. One last time, and check for measurement again. Again, wind around once, and then start twisting it around. I'm going to do 4 twists, and then I'll be complete. And again, I'll trim the end. Very simple here. A little bit tight, but not too bad. I take the tension off, release it, and we're good to go. You can see, nice tight wire. Now I need to make some clips to actually hang the wire from. I take these fence clips that come with the packets of poles for hooking your fence to the actual poles themselves, the T-post, and then bend one around, clip off the other end, nice little U to support the wire on. Again, checking the measurements on my mid post. I'm pre-drilling these because these are used hedge posts and I want them to be good and secure. I know if I don't do that, I'm going to split them, drop the top wire in there, then I'm going to repeat with the bottom wires. I'm going to do the same thing this time, but again, used wire, and I was on the wrong side. So I'm going to pull it again, pull it tight. This time I'm going 30 inches, which is my knee, and I measure all this off before I go, and that way I don't have to carry a tape measure in the field. Very convenient. Putting in my clips again, so I have something to hang the wire from. Hey, and don't forget, head over to arkenbergfarms.com, scroll down to the bottom, digital tools and training, bunch of cool stuff there. Farm school's open. We also have the ultimate supply catalog available too as well. So go check it out. Join the Market Gardening Farm School. We got a bunch of cool stuff coming out this season. Piecemeal modules. You can get what you want when you want to learn step by step how to do what we do on the farm, which also works great in your home garden as well. It occurred to me after shooting this that a lot of people do not know what a twist post hole auger is. So here it is in its finest glory. Just twist and it makes the hole. Now propagating your raspberries is pretty easy. You want to clip your prima-canes and you come through and remove all the little bits and pieces that are still left on them from the leaves. And get some side cutters and you look for the node right there. And you cut about 1 inch below it. So that's what you're left with right there. Now you come up about 7 inches. For this, I'm actually using a measurement on my tabletop here. It gives me about 7 inches. So I find where that node's at, and then I make a cut just slightly above it at an angle. That way I know where the top is, and I'm slightly above the bud, so if this dies back where my cut is, it's not going to kill the bud as well. So I've got about 7 buds on here. Ideally, I want 1 to 2 below the soil surface level, and the rest will actually start to grow when it starts to root. Now, I have a 50 cell flat filled with soil, and I just use a poker, which is just a pin at this point, and I make a hole all the way across for each one of these. And I do this specifically because I am using rooting hormone, otherwise you just jab them in the hole. Using a simple rooting hormone here, just because I have it and it does a little better on the success. Dip it in there, get a little bit on it, you stick it in. I usually stick a row at a time, and then I gently backfill around it. I will continue across the whole entire flat on both sides, and then we'll take this over, water it in really well, especially if your soil mix is really dry. It's going to take a while for it to actually absorb the moisture, but you want to get it good and moist. The reason I'm using Pro Mix is because it's a low nutrient mix, and that is ideal for actually getting plants to root and not shoot a lot of top growth off. After that, we're going to take them over, put them in the germination chamber, and I'll show you what they look like after a week. Now after I watered them in, I went through and actually put plastic over the top of them, just kind of hold a little bit extra moisture in. That way it really helps the buds break dormancy and start growing, as well as putting roots down in the soil without having to water them too much. I am keeping track and making sure that they're well watered, but I'll turn you around and I'll show you what they look like after 1 week of growth. Here is after 1 week. You can see they're starting to actually break dormancy and break their buds, pushing off greens all over the place. These are Prelude right here. So they're actually going a little quicker than my Lathams over here on this side. They're just barely starting to break dormancy. Kind of see there in the middle where we're starting to get green sprouts coming out. These other ones are getting ready to break buds here before long. So before long we should have them going. They should be starting to root already, even though they're not showing green. If you tug on them a little bit and feel that they're now somewhat secure, that means they have roots. The other thing to do is to look up underneath them, see if you got anything poking through the bottom. I think there's a little one right there. To kind of check on them. Now, since I'm starting these a little bit ahead of time and I'm getting them to bud out a little sooner, after a few weeks here, I'm going to let them bud out a little further, and then I'll move them down underneath this level that actually has the lights. I turn these off because it really makes it hard to shoot in here with these lights on. It does some weird like line thing, and yeah. But either way, I'm going to keep them in here, keep them going. Once it warms up a little bit more outside, I'll move them over to the propagation greenhouse where we were working in before, get them hardened off, and then when it comes time, I'll put them in the field, get these babies growing, get them going up that trellis. We'll have a good harvest this year, but not great. And then the year after, we'll have a great harvest off these. These are actually like commercial varieties, Prelude and Latham. So you get big, tall, about 5-foot canes. You bundle them all together at the end of the season. All your spring and summer berries will come off of those. It's just beautiful. So I can't wait to get these out there and get them going. Hope everybody liked what they saw today. If they did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, share it. That helps the YouTube algorithm spread this content further and get more people on board of the way we do things here on our farm to help you on your farm, garden, or homestead as well. Also, again, Mark Gardening Farming School is open as well. Go over to arkenbergfarms.com, scroll down to the bottom, digital tools and training, bunch of other cool stuff there. Go check it out, and see you all in the next one. Thank y'all. Have a good day.